Hello to all class 9 students out here. Hope you guys are here waiting for this lecture. Hello, very good evening and welcome on the platform Deeksha Vedantu. This is your SST faculty. Today we are going to talk about an important chapter of history, or I can say that this is the very first chapter of history. That is Early Human and Civilization. If you guys are watching me, please let me know. Am I audible, visible and very much clear to all the students watching me right now? Hello again, warm welcome on the platform Deeksha Vedantu. So my dear students, class 9 students particularly are struggling with the books. I know that you are struggling with the content. I am pretty aware about that, and this live is particularly for that too. In this live today, we will completely see about this chapter, that is beginning of civilization. So it is basically human evolution and the beginning of civilization. Just a request to all the students, please let me know, am I audible, visible, so that I can proceed with this session without any tension that you are not able to understand what the chapter is about. Beta, so let me tell you that this year, I am always saying this again and again because I want to make sure that everyone know about this, that the syllabus is changed, new books are awaited by everyone, we are waiting. And recently I got the news that in the end of the month of June we will get it. Hopefully, I am exactly hoping the same right now that we get the books. Right, so hopefully we get it, but there are chances which are quite low. Still, we got this syllabus curriculum previously, and that there was a chapter for history, that is chapter number 1, human evolution and beginning of civilization. Bacha, the syllabus changes in a manner that up till now you were studying French Revolution, then there was Nazism, there was Russian Revolution, and all the time I used to teach that. Student used to ask just one question, ma'am, why are we studying the history of other countries? We should study the history of our country and all that. So NCERT is made more Indianized now. That is the reason we have to see this. Okay. Yes. Hello, Teja. Beta, I remember you. Actually, yes, I remember you. How can I forget you? Hello to everyone who is saying hello. Very good evening, bachas. Let's start the chapter. Give me the permission. Give me a thumbs up. Not the permission, by the way. So, give me the thumbs up so that I can proceed and get to know that you guys are here. Okay, hello to everyone. Chalo. So basically the chapter is about human evolution, how human evolved. Beta, we are aware about the humans past and history, that we were ape or we were similarly looking like monkeys. We are always being told that our ancestors were monkey, right? So basically there is a story, there is a truth behind the evolution of humankind. And that is what the chapter about, okay? The evolution of humankind. Do you think that evolution happened in some century, some years? No, it took millions of years to be a human as we are today, standing upright, using phone, using AI, etc., etc. So it took millions of years. This chapter is actually about the starting of that millions of years. Okay, in between I will be asking you some quick questions which you have to answer fast so that we don't waste much of our time. Right, here is the preview what we have to study in this chapter. We will start with cultural development from 2 million years back, cultural development from 2 million years back. Then we have early human history, periodization, how were human ancestors. Then we have certain ages like Palaeolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic. These are basically Stone Age, right? Stone Age. Then we have some something regarding the change in the society, that is revolution, domestication of plants and animal, Harappan civilization, and along with Harappan civilization, certain contemporary civilization that were there in the world. Okay, we are ready to start. So, my dear students, civilization did not started one single day by. It took millions of years. Now, the question is, ma'am, what is civilization? Beta, civilization means that in a civilized manner in a society, people are living together, having a social order, they have a type of settlement. Right, this is what is known as, they know how to interact with the nature. Okay, this is what is known as civilization. So early humans adapted the nature gradually. Like I will tell you an example in science. Okay, in science, you may learn about a theory that is survival of the fittest theory, right? That whoever fits in the nature well survives the most. Like we have seen a lot of students, like for an example, you changed your city because your father changed the job, right? Now you go into new school and you have to mix up with the students. If you are not ready to mix up, will it be possible for you to mix up with them? No, bacha. It is not at all possible to mix up with them. Then what happened? As it is not possible, you will survive in the class happily? No, you won't survive in the class happily. So the person survives well who fit in the class. Similarly, the person evolve well who fit in the nature, right? This is what is known as survival of fittest. Now what happened na? In the starting, okay? In the starting, there were certain periods. Beta, one thing I just want to tell you is that there is a word that is periodization. There is a word that is periodization. I'll tell you very nicely this today. Okay? If I talk about history, if I talk about history, what is history, beta? What is history? The study of past event is known as history. Study of past event is known as history, but not all the events, right? Like if I talk about this, that you drink a glass of milk some around 2 years back, is it a history? Is it important? Will you remember it? No, bhai, you are not going to remember that. So that's not history. Every event is not history. Only important event is history. The study of past event is history. Now the question is, how do you know about history? Okay? How do you got to know about history? Beta, you got to know about history by various sources, right? By various what, bacha? Sources. These sources can be archaeological sources, right? By archaeological sources, I mean that anything that you get when you like see the layers of soil. You might got coins, you might got stones, some writings written on it, you might got some fossils. These are the sources that you get archaeologically. Other than that, we also got some literary sources, something that is written. So this is how we know about the past. But there are times, beta, right? There are times when we did not get any written source. That means there was no language being spoken, there was nothing. How do we know about that period, right? To understand it better, we have done what? Periodization. What we have done, beta? Periodization. For an example, there is a period which is known as prehistory. Okay? There is a period that is known as prehistory. What do you mean by prehistory, ma'am? Beta, this is the time when we have not get any return resources. Okay? We did not get any return source, that nothing is returned. This is the time when humans were using stone tools to hunt and gather. So you did not get any return source. How do you know that what people were doing? Because when we read a book, we understand better. But if we don't have any written sources, and hence this period is known as prehistory. The period of history in which we have not got any return sources. This is known as what, bacha? Prehistory. Then we have one more time that is referred as proto-history. Okay? Proto-history is the time, beta, when we got the return resources, right? We got the return sources, but the irony is that we are not able to decipher them. Okay? We are not able to decipher them. Do you know what does the word decipher means? We are not able to understand what is written. Right? Exactly. In the Indus Valley civilization, we have got certain signboards in a place known as Dholavira. But we are not able to read that language. Right? It may be a chance that if we read it, the entire history can change, because we are just now assuming things on the basis of archaeological sources. That is known as proto-history. And the third one is exactly history, from in which we got archaeological sources as well as return sources too, and we are even able to read it. Okay? Now, to understand this history better, we again periodized the history. Indian history I am talking about into ancient, right? Medieval as well as modern. Okay. What you studied in class 6th was ancient history. What you studied in class 7th was medieval history. What you studied in class 8th was modern history. Bacha, this was just a brief introduction of about this chapter. So what we have to study in this chapter is ancient history, how human evolves, beta. Right? So when human evolved, na, the first human, if we talk about Australopithecus, then from Australopithecus there are a lot of human, like we will talk about them one by one. If you see, right, if you see this slide, you will understand there was a time millions year back when the human was not able to walk on two limbs, rather they were using all the four limbs to walk, right? And this particular time of period, the human is considered as Australopithecus, right? When they were having long hairs and they were actually ape. What happened gradually? They started walking upright, but it was not straight and upright like we are today. And this is known as Homo habilis. Right? The size of the brain is decreasing, but the memory, but the capacity is increasing. Like if we talk about this Homo erectus, the person is more upright, and this is the time when there was discovery of fire. That means the smartness is increasing day by day. Okay? Then comes the time that is Homo Netherlands. Okay? It's not Netherland, Neanderthalensis. Okay, it is what? Neanderthalensis, and then the Homo sapien, the type of humans we are today. Straight, upright, with a mind. Okay? Now, in this evolution of the period, one more thing evolved, beta, and that were tools. Okay? Now, what were tools and why were they used? Beta, when humans were, during this period, when humans were evolving, they were just hunters and gatherers. Why? Dekhiye, from the starting itself, right? From the one starting itself, one need was there in human, that was to feed the stomach. One need was there in human to feed the stomach. Okay? भूख लगती थी. Then what happened? They hunt the animals, they gather the fruits. To hunt and gather, they required tools. On the basis of this use of tools, we have divided them into periods, and this is what is known as periodization. I got a comment of Jentik. Yes, please ask your doubt, but I am here to answer this. You can ask your doubt freely. Right? Now we are talking about those periodizations. So I'm waiting for your response. Meanwhile, I am teaching this. Right? According to the sizes as well as the shape of those tools, we have divided it into periods. That is Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic. Okay? One common word is there, that is lithic. Bacha, by this word lithic we mean stone. Right? What do we mean? Stone. Okay? So, this is a word that is paleo. Paleo means old stone age. What does it mean? Paleo means old, lithic means stone, and hence it is known as old stone age. Then we have meso. Meso means middle, lithic means stone, and hence it is known as Mesolithic. Then we have neo, that is new, particularly lithic, that means stone, and hence it is what? New stone age. Ma'am, what is the difference between these particularly? Because you guys are not asking, then I will ask on the behalf of you, isn't it? So, there is the difference, okay? There is a slight difference among these ages. Right? What is that difference, beta? About the shape, right? As well as the size of the tools used during this time. Like I will show you, this is the hunter-gatherer stones which was used in this Paleolithic age, right? Paleolithic age. Good evening, Agambir. How are you, beta? So, students, again, Paleolithic age in which humans were particularly hunters and gatherers. They were what? Hunter. They hunt the animals to feed the stomach. They gather the fruit that I told you already, right? Then this was known as Stone Age. Humans did what? Hunted animals and gather fruit, roots, nuts and seeds. They used to live in caves and rock shelter because as they were hunters and gatherers, they were basically wanderers moving from one place to another. So they were not having any shelter, bhai. They find the cave and live there just to hide themselves from the weather conditions. Okay. However, when we talk about tools, they were not so well furnished, polished. They were big in size, and these scrapers, there were choppers to chop the skin of animals. There were axes used to cut the trees, etc. Right? Hi, hello to everyone. Hi, Rahul. How are you? So, this was the period of Paleolithic age. Now, humans developed by, right? When humans gradually developed, there come the discovery of what, beta? Fire and cave painting. Right? Do you know the last time of, right? The last few years of Paleolithic age, man did a great discovery of all the time, and this is something that changed the world. And what was that discovery? The discovery was of fire. The discovery was of what, bacha? Fire. Why was the fire used? Can anyone answer me right now? Why? How fire helped the ancient humans? You know, when you were in classic, this question came that why fire was used by humans, how it helped the humans, right? Think about it. Answer quickly in the comment section. So this was one discovery done in Paleolithic age. So humans now have fire and all those things. Moving towards next stone age, that is Mesolithic age, right? Middle. Okay? Old, new and middle. And don't you think that middle will be a transition phase? Yes. This is the time when humans are evolving a lot. This is the time when they are the transition is going from hunting, gathering and farming. Question, ma'am, did in the Mesolithic period they know about farming? No, not at all. Right? They were still hunters and gatherers, bacha. They were still hunters and gatherers, but now the evolution is going on gradually. Now, Agambir is answering to cook food and for safety from wild animals. Very good. Right? At night, they want light. It is used for that. To cook food, obvious thing. And to keep themselves safe from the wild animals, to prey all those. Right? That is the correct answer. Very good. So when I talk about this Mesolithic age, now what is difference? How it is different from the Paleolithic age, beta? By the word Mesolithic, it means middle. But here, what we have seen, the change in the use of tools. The tools used by human during this time became small, right? And hence, they are referred as microlith. Again, lith means stone and micro means small. See, the shape of the tools over here, they are small, but this time they are more sharp. So that will help them to prey the animals or to hunt the animals. Okay? Getting my point? One thing that the people of Mesolithic age learned was domestication of animals. See, up till now, they were not keeping the animals at their home, but now they learn this process. So, Mesolithic age, animal husbandry started. Now what happened by? Okay, this is Mesolithic sites and tools. Now let's come to Neolithic age. Why we are calling it new age, beta? Why we are calling it new stone age? Because this was the time, right? This was the time when human learned farming that actually revolutionized the world, right? This was the first human who grow a crop. And do you actually know which crop was the first one to be grown here? Beta, wheat and barley. Right? Wheat and barley were the first crops to be grown over here. So this Neolithic period marked the starting of agriculture and settled life. Why, ma'am, settled life? They could choose hunters and gatherers. Right? We are considering them in Stone Age. They might be hunters and gatherers, but yeah. See, they started growing crops, and crops are not grown in a single day. It takes time to grow and get harvested. For that time, don't you think the need to live with that crops? Yes. And hence, for the very first time, human from wanderers become a settled community. What did they become? Human from wanderers become a settled community. And this is known as what? Neolithic age. Now, as they are growing crops, okay, wheat, they might be getting rice, they might be getting where to keep it by. So, they learned one more art is art of making pottery. Okay? They were even domesticating animals such as sheep, goats, cattle and dogs. Tools even became more advanced. This time the tools were quite polished, furnished, which was not seen in Paleolithic and Mesolithic age. right? Is it clear to everyone? So hence we can call this Neolithic age as an revolution. Why we are calling it as revolution? See, farming came in picture. ठीक है, when there is enough food to feed the humans, don't you think that the population will increase? Yes, they will become healthy and the population will become. So there was surplus food in the market, there was enough food available. When there was surplus food, there was population growth. Yes, eventually the population grew and there was division of labor. Like now works are increasing. Some person is keeping animals and producing the milk product. Another person is growing crop. Now as they are growing crop, wheat and barley, right? Another activities evolved over there. Someone is making tools. Someone is making clothes for them. Don't you think that is social division of labor coming in the market? Haan bhai. Yes, social division of labor is going on. Now what happens? It eventually led to the formation of small towns, small villages, where on the basis of this social division, that the people making tools, living together, a town is being made gradually, right? Village is being made gradually, and beta, this is what will leads to the formation of kingdoms later. This will lead to the formation of kingdom later, and this is known as revolution. Give me a thumbs up if up till here everything is clear to you. Ma'am, I have a question. What Stone Age indicates in Paleolithic age? Beta, the Stone Age in Paleolithic age is basically the evolution, the initial phase of the evolution of humans, where they were only hunter and gatherer. See, in the Paleolithic age, they were totally wanderers, hunters and gatherers. Big size of tools, which actually makes us clear that the brain was not that much developed. Gradually what happened? The brain developed, they made small microliths. Then what happened? They learned about farming. But in the Paleolithic age, one discovery is very good, that is of fire. Okay? Get it? The tools indicates that they know how to chop, they know the use of axe, they know the use of scrapers particularly. This is what the tools indicates. Now tell me, is this doubt clear to you? Great. So the Neolithic revolution is there. Neolithic revolution is there. Okay. Great. Okay, I got a thumbs up. Thank you for this, bacha. Just a second. Okay, so now what happened? Neolithic age is there. I will tell you more about these periods, right? I'll tell you more about these periods. So what happened now? Initially there are phases for the evolution of human, that is separate thing. But there was a time, right, that is known as Stone Age. This is known as Stone Age. Why we are calling it as Stone Age? Because during this time humans used the tools, right? Tools which are made up of stones or bones. This Stone Age, we have seen that these are divided into three periods. One is Paleolithic age, that is referred as Old Stone Age. Then we have Mesolithic age, that is known as Middle Stone Age. And then we have Neolithic age, that is known as New Stone Age. Okay, done? Now what happened? After this age, particularly Stone Age, human knew how to do metallurgy. Metallurgy means to start the use of metals. And do you know, this Stone Age, after humans developed later, right? After this Stone Age comes the Chalcolithic age. Chalcolithic, that is also known as Chalcolithic age. That is also known as Chalcolithic age. Why do we call it Chalcolithic age? Because this was the first time when humans, right, when human used the first metal. And what was that first metal, beta? Copper. That was what? Copper was the first metal. right? Later, they learned the art of metallurgy, and copper was added with tin, which resulted into the formation of bronze, which resulted into the formation of what? Beta, bronze. And do you know that? And hence there was starting of different age that is known as Bronze Age. Okay, that is known as what, beta? Bronze Age. When humans started using metallurgy, and bronze was particularly used. See, up till now, you animals were hunted with the help of stone. Now these are replaced by these what? These are replaced by this metals, okay? Like copper, like bronze. Okay, they are using it for the purpose of agriculture also. Some tools are being used after that. So, okay, I'm having some messages. Let's check. Ma'am, I have a question. What stone tools indicates? I have cleared that. Ma'am, कौन सा stage में fire करना सीखा? It is Paleolithic age, beta. Okay, it is Paleolithic age. Kunal is asking, ma'am, how are you? Kunal, I'm very good. How are you, beta? किस एज में फायर करना सीखा? सो फायर वॉज लर्न इन द लेटर पीरियड ऑफ पेलियोलिथिक एज टू बी पर्टिकुलर, बट इफ यू नीड टू आंसर इट इज करेक्टली पेलियोलिथिक एज. हाय हर्षल यादव, हाउ आर यू हर्षल? So how is your preparation going on? Are you guys everyone in class 9th or you're just passing time over here? So coming back to this Stone Age, after that we have Chalcolithic Age, and then we have Bronze Age. See, I am talking here about time which is 4,500 years BC, like 4,500 years BC. This is somewhere from 4,500 years to 7,000 years, right? And this is even back then to millions of years. So the story is regarding that. It is Siddharth Yadav. Okay, Siddharth, that's great. Okay, glad to see you all here, and very nice that you guys have joined Deeksha Vedantu. Just one thing, go and subscribe so that whenever come live next time, you will be the part of live from the starting. Okay? I'm very good. Kunal, किस age में fire? Beta Aditya, I told you it is Paleolithic age particularly. Now, as I'm talking about Bronze Age, na beta, during this Bronze Age, a new great civilization came into existence, which is popularly known as Indus Valley civilization. It is the part of the chapter I will teach this to you. Beta, why the word civilization? See, these humans were hunters-gatherers. At the later time, they learned settlement. After that, they started use Chalcolithic. Meanwhile, what is happening? Now, they were becoming settled, and towns are becoming. In the history of India, one great discovery is to know about this period, that is Indus Valley civilization. You know, this is known as the first civilization. By civilization, I mean the society was so civilized. There were houses, there was settlement, there was market, there were streets, there were wells and everything. And that is known as what? Indus Valley civilization. Why are we calling it Indus Valley? Because we have found this around the river, all the settlements around the river Indus, and that is known as what, beta? Bronze Age. But as if any of you has watched that movie of Mohenjo-daro, right? When was Mesopotamia civilization founded? Okay, that is the part of today's class. Don't hurry up. So, after this, we are not aware about how this civilization vanished. There were great cities like Mohenjo-daro, there was Harappa, Lothal, Dholavira, but eventually all those cities lost, and even how much they were developed during that time, now we don't know even that too. Okay? So what happened after Bronze Age? Beta, after Bronze Age came the Vedic Age. Okay? This is known as Vedic Age. And do you know what is the brief period of this Vedic Age? It is somewhere around 2000 BC. Okay? It is somewhere around 2000 BC that it started. This is also popularly known as Iron Age, beta, because this time iron was found by humans. Okay? If I talk about iron, it was strongest metal in comparison to copper as well as bronze. As this was strongest metal, it helped to clear the forest more as more possible by humans. So, from this hub of Indus river, they are now moving towards Ganga river. Okay? And this is how settlements are increasing. As settlements will be increasing, there might be chances that they need to take care. So there were kings, Raja, the councils of the kings, right? And there were lot of what we can say administration done to take care of those cities. And this is how the territories evolved. So I'm just telling you what about how we evolved. Ma'am, when did the people learn pottery? Beta, pottery was learned in Neolithic age, when humans learned about what? Arey, don't spam. I'm not able to filter the comments or the doubts. Don't beta spam. So there are certain doubts. Ma'am, when did people learn pottery? Beta, pottery was learned in Neolithic age. Hi, I am Sanjana, new student, please reply. Hi Sanjana, how are you? Hi Sanjana beta, how are you? So here we are learning the chapter that is human civilization. That is human evolution and civilization. Okay, so stop spamming. I can read your comments, don't worry. Okay, so this Vedic age came and this is how we evolved from time to time and became the kingdom. But the topic does not stop, because here we have to talk about the civilizations. Okay? We have to talk about civilizations in detail. The chapter regarding king and the kingdoms is the next chapter, that is state and society in your syllabus. So let's talk about these beta. If I talk about the greatest civilization of India, that is Indus Valley civilization, which is also popularly known as Harappan civilization. By why two names, ma'am? Beta, why do we call it, right? Why do we call it Indus Valley civilization? Because all the cities, right? All the major cities of the civilizations have been found near the river Indus. Do you know river Indus? It originates from Tibet and then moves to northern part of India and then the part of Pakistan, which was actually the Indian subcontinent. So there are great cities over there: Lothal, Dholavira, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa. Then we have Ropar in Punjab and lot more. There is a long list. What is different in this civilization we will study. And another question, why it is known as Harappan civilization? Beta, because when archaeologists started finding about this civilization, so Harappa was the first city that was found. And hence we recognize it as Harappan civilization. Okay? This is one of the urban civilization. Now here the people were not hunters and gatherers majorly. The background was not majorly hunters and gatherers. They were urbanized. What do I mean by urbanized? They were living in a city. Right? Do you know the features of that time? Beta, the city was so developed that it was made upon the basis of grid pattern. Now, what is this grid pattern? Acha, can you see the roads outside your house? Do you think that they are properly well structured? No. But they were well structured during that time. How? Right? Do you know if this is a house? This is also a house. There are a lot of houses. So, whenever the street used to cut each other, whenever the street used to cut each other, it was always on 90 degree. Okay? And this, percentage it is, sorry, 90 degree. And this is how the cities were made. We can even see the open drains right now in the time, but there was not. There was what? Underground drains. Right? Underground drains, the waste material, drains, not grains, underground drains, right? The waste material that used to come out from the houses, they come out from a proper drain, that is covered drain, and keep that material out of the city. Even we have seen the use of seals at that time. Do you know what is seal? Molten metal, and then there is some picture of the civilization that this product belonged to this civilization. So there were seals used, right? We have seen a lot of what we can say different type of settlement their time. Like other than that, we got a great bath, right? Great bath at Mohenjo-daro, which is considered that some of the ritualistic or any religious event people used to gather here and take bath. Like we go on river Ganga, Narmada, and whatever religious rivers we have on the auspicious days of Hinduism. Similar such practice was seen over that time. So, beta, cities were well planned with straight rows and drainage system. At this time, people used to make pottery. There were beads, you know, like there were beads of precious minerals. lapis lazuli, one of the beautiful, it was like shining like diamond. So there were a lot of beads which was traded with the different countries, like Mesopotamian civilization. There was trade going on, they were selling and buying it. These beads were particularly, this was ornamented as jewelries by men and women. We found seals, metal tools, trade was an important part. So this is how the feature is about civilization, right? It was not only Harappan civilization around the world. This is one of the great civilization of India, but we have a lot more around in the world too. We will talk about each of them in detail, right? So this is the map of the great civilization. Ma'am, can you give a recap? Beta, we are doing recap only. So this is the map of the different civilizations around the world. Acha, one thing is common in civilization, bacha. What is that? That all these civilizations have been developed around the river. Why? Anyone who is going to answer me this? Why all the civilizations are around the river? Basic question. It is very basic that you can answer nicely. I'm waiting for your responses. Meanwhile, I'm telling you the exact locations of them. So we will start with this, right? We will start with this. So in the northeast of Africa, there is a river that is Nile River. Okay? There is a river that is Nile River, over which we have Egyptian civilization. Over which we have Egyptian civilization that is basically developed in northeastern Africa. Okay? Around the river Nile. For fertile soil. Agam is here with the answer for exactly. For, see, water is exactly needed for us to live. That is one thing. The another thing is for fertile soil, because food production is the only activity right now they know. They want the population to feed. So one thing is there. Yes, Adit, you are also very much correct here. So exactly because of these. So we have one great civilization around Nile River, Egyptian civilization. We have more. Like over this river Tigris and Euphrates. So Tigris in the north, Euphrates in the south. The center place, this location was occupied by the civilized society known as Mesopotamian civilization. What? Mesopotamian civilization. Similarly, like we have over the Indus River, what? Indus Valley civilization. In China also, over this river, which is popularly known as Yellow River, Huanghe River, right? Or sometimes Yangtze River. Over this we have civilization, that is Chinese civilization. And it is considered as cradle or the cradle of civilizations in China. Right? More important was water. Yes, exactly. So this is the brief introduction about all of them. Okay? So what we are doing, we are understanding the outline of the chapter so that whenever the book comes, we will just be clear with all the basics that are required. Okay, so let's see the Mesopotamian civilization in detail. Beta, it is being developed between the river Tigris and Euphrates, as you just saw in the map. Tigris and Euphrates. Tigris in the here. This is particularly Euphrates and Tigris. Okay? So it has developed between those rivers that is found in present-day Iraq. Known as the land between two rivers, city like Ur and Babylon developed strong trade and craft production over here. Right? Then they used cuneiform writing and built ziggurats. Now what is cuneiform writing? Beta, writing that is made from what? Pictures. Right? They don't have letters. Rather they are drawing something. That is cuneiform writings. Ma'am, here is a question. Ma'am, NCERT book release? No, bacha. NCERT is not yet released. Every one of you and even we teachers are waiting for it. Right? Hope so that it get released soon, because it is affecting your curriculum a lot. Right? We are trying to make content possible to you from different sources. You guys might understand this particular thing. But I would say that don't stop learning. With whatever resources you have available in the market, let us start. Okay? Ma'am, can you brief rise of nationalism in Europe, class 10th in 30 minutes? Okay, fine. Sridhar, we will, like I already uploaded similar such lecture, but according to your demand, one shot is being uploaded recently on the channel. I will upload this 30-minute revision too. For sure, this will be accepted. Okay? Chalo. Moving to this Egyptian civilization. Now, Egyptian civilization developed around the river that is Nile River. That is Nile River in Northeast Africa. The Nile's annual flood made land fertile for agriculture. The reason you told me that why this is important. Ma'am, soil ka note return people. Sorry, I didn't get this point. Egyptian society was ruled by kings and they were referred as pharaohs at that time. They built pyramids. Egypt, whenever the picture of Egypt comes in mind, what comes? Pyramids, which actually show that there was a ruler that was ruling it. There was some power that was ruling this place. See, one strange thing that I want to share with all of you, na, in this Mesopotamia, okay? In this Mesopotamia, we have found the evidence of rulers as well as their forts. Okay. In Egypt also we found pyramids that actually show us about some of the power. But do you know, in Mohenjo-daro, right? In Mohenjo-daro or Mohenjo-daro sometimes people call it, we don't find any evidence of power there. And it is quite strange that a uniform system of weights and measure was used. You know, the sizes of the brick was uniform in all civilization, right? And along with that, there were a lot of things. Why a proper planned city cannot work with any authority, right? There needs to be a centralized authority, but no evidence have been found, and it's quite strange that how it was working. And we have no availability of resources regarding that. Ma'am, one shot fine, ma'am. Thank you, you're teaching. Okay, welcome, bacha. One shot is already uploaded. Go and watch. Whatever help you need, you come back and tell me. This is new topic, ma'am. Yes, RV, this is new topic, bacha. Then we have a Chinese civilization, beta, developed along Yellow River, popularly known as Yellow River. You call it Huang He. The river provided fertile land. Again, it caused destructive floods. Agriculture was the main occupation of the people living there. Now, one thing which China is quite famous about is their silk production. And eventually, the part to know is that during this Chinese civilization, the people knew how to make the silk from the silkworms. You know, Chinese silk is quite popular. Even Silk Road was made just to make this product available in Europe, right? Because for years they were not making such good quality of silk. Even pottery from China is quite famous. They were able to make good bronze tools, and this was the first place which is known for its early writing skills. Okay, so this is Chinese Revolution. What we studied today is, now, question to all the students, you guys will be marking me. This was a civilization, Indus, or let me call it Harappan civilization. Answer, writing 1 over there, that Harappan civilization was built over which river? You will answer and I will write. The second one is about Mesopotamia. Okay, Mesopotamia. It was built over which river? Then third one is about, then we have which civilization? Okay, then we have Egyptian civilization. Okay, name the river, quick, fast in the comment section chat right now. And then we have the last, that is Chinese, right? Fast, quick, let me see who is going to answer everything correctly. So we have 4 civilizations that developed over different rivers. Let's answer them. Let me see who is answering this. So hope you understood the brief introduction about the chapter. Quick, by fast, tell me. Or everything went skyrocket from your mind. What happened? Nobody knows anything. Meso is on Tigris. Okay. One answer I got. Mesopotamia on river Tigris. One more river is there. One more river is there. Egypt is on Nile, so Egyptian civilization on the river Nile. Okay. Along with Tigris, there is one more river, that is Euphrates. Remember this, okay? There is Euphrates. We should not get confused seeing these. For obvious, Harappan civilization on the river Indus. Okay? On the river Indus. Very good, Aditya. And then we have last one, which you guys always forget, sometimes forget, Huang He, right? Huang He, popularly known as Yellow River, or we can call it Yangtze. Different region, they are referred as different names. They are referred by different names. Okay, so this is what we studied in today's class. Now what happened eventually? Surplus food led to division of labor. This division of labor made social groups in the society. This person is making tools of iron, then this person becomes lohar. There is a community which is making the tools of iron. This time they are referred as what? Lohar. How did the social group evolve? The social group evolved when the social responsibilities were divided. A person who is working on farming becomes kisan. Right? So this is how social groups made to basically maintain the governance, right? To maintain peace in that social group. What came into power were rulers, and these rulers made the laws. What, beta? Rulers made the laws, and then eventually religion, rituals, all those came into being. And this is how the society evolved. From where? From hunter-gatherer to tools plus fire to early farming to settled life and then urban civilization. This is the chapter all about. Tell me if you guys have any doubts in this chapter. Do you have any doubts up till now, or everything is clear to you? Tell me. So before exiting the live, I have some question. One particular question for all of you to answer. Ma'am, इसका PDF कहाँ से access कर सकते हैं? Sanvi, I think it's Sanvi, it's Mithu's Fun with Sanvi. So Sanvi, you can go in the description box. You will see a line that's download the session PDF. Right? The second line over there. Download the session PDF. You can access that PDF from there. Easily available. Very good, Adit and Agambir, for answering all the points which I asked you recently regarding the rivers and the civilization. So if any student want the PDF of this, you can go in the description box and actually download them. Okay, not only this one, I have uploaded, let me tell you, brief out that to you. So class 9 books has not been released, but we are teaching with the help of different sources, etc, etc. So because of that, now I have already made certain lectures regarding the chapter understanding democracy. Then we have surface, earth surface, right? Then we have atmosphere and climate, and then we have another chapter that is about human civilization. Democracy is recently uploaded. The next lecture that is going to come on the same channel, for which you have to subscribe, so that every time the notification comes, you're the first one to watch it. Okay, the next thing which I'm going to upload is state and society. Okay, what we are going to learn, bacha, is state and society. So wait for just around 2 to 3 days. The lecture will be on the channel. Before exiting, let me ask a question to you. I just want to know your point of view in this. Which single change most helped humans become civilized? Was it fire? Was it farming? Was it writing? Or was it trade? So again, the question is, which single change most helped humans become civilized? Fire, farming, writing, or trade? Give reason if you have a point. Okay? If you have a point, give the reason. Tell me the answer right now, or otherwise we will end the class, end the session for today. What do you think? Which single change? I will give my point of view. First, I will check. Do you guys have any point of view regarding this or not? Tell me fast, super fast, quick. Sites revise. Agambir, okay. We will revise the sites eventually in the next time when we come back. There are sites like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Dholavira, Kalibangan, and Mam. Mam, because of farming. Okay. And do you have a good reason to define why it is farming, beta? Do you have a very, very good reason where you can justify this point, farming? Let me know fast, quick. Just let me know this quick. Any particular point that can justify this farming? Yes, actually, see, fire is also a discovery that changed a lot. But when we talk about farming, now farming played a role. What it changed the nature of human. It gave the opportunity to other people for occupation. Wow, what a point. Very good. I didn't thought about this. I just thought that it basically changed the nature of human. A human that was a hunter and gatherer up till now started to live a life in a settled manner. They made houses, right? Whatever how the material was used, but actually they started making houses. When they started making houses, certain social institution might have occurred, like marriages, and then the social divisions according to the work, like you just told me. So actually it led to the rise of different social divisions because of that labor and because of that activities in the market. You're pretty correct about this. So actually farming is something like writing or trade or fire is not at all. Great. Get it? So this is all about chapter, and this was the quick revision of the chapter. We will meet soon in the next live, and up till then you can present here every day at 5. 2 days there is maths classes, 2 days there are science classes, and 2 days there will be SST classes. Every day schedule is posted in the form of post on the channel. You can just subscribe the channel and get aware about what is going to come today. Okay, and be motivated with all those motivational quotes and the post over there. In case you need a one shot for the chapters of class 9th, again go to the channel, watch the videos. You will get a proper insight, proper view of all the chapter. Okay, meet you soon in the next live. Up till then, take care, beta. Bye bye.